It's the NBA version of Dino's Deep Dank Dark Web. I'm here with Justin Spears from ESPN 1490 AM and 104.9 FM, our sister station. How are you today, Justin?
What's up, Dino? Thank you for having me.
Welcome back, I should say.
I'm excited.
After our glorious March Madness picks, that was
glorious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll just say that. It was in the dumpster before the Final Four even started.
Right, you should have just lit it on fire while we were on the air.
Exactly.
Now we had Tristan. Of course, I'm surprised he didn't show up to gloat.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, he had Michigan State, and that was really his key to victory there. So I guess I got to take him to a concert at some point here in the very near future. It's my own fault for making that bet. I was a little overconfident, I think.
He still reminds me to this day that Michigan State went to the Final Four instead of Duke. So,
yeah.
Man, rubs it in.
Yeah. Forgot about the whole North Carolina thing, too. Yeah, that was another way. Could have got some points, but yeah. Let's look at the East first, because that's the least glamorous side. How about Orlando, kids? In Toronto, that opening. So no one thought Orlando would even make the playoffs, probably, let alone give Toronto a run for their money. That series is tied 1-1 right now?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm still thinking Toronto long term, but Kyle Lowry gets his face punched in, is bleeding profusely out his nose that other game. So it's kind of a nice coming out party for Orlando, I think, but ultimately they're probably gonna lose. They just don't have the experience.
Yeah, Toronto, they have more star power with Kawhi Leonard, Marc Gasol. Kyle Lowry went scoreless in the first game.
Right.
You can't be an all-star point guard and go scoreless. I think Kyle Lowry is going to clean up that part of it. And I think Toronto has a little too much talent. Orlando, I'm surprised they came out and punched him in the face for game one. And Aaron Gordon, former Arizona Wildcat,
absolutely looking
doing
good
his
out
thing.
there. Yeah, wearing his headband.
That's such a weird thing. Headbands kind of took like a hiatus in the NBA.
It's coming back.
And now they're starting to come back.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Butler for the Sixers, the players, I think Drew Holiday does this for the Pelicans.
Right.
They're even doing like this like Karate Kid
Mr.
style
Miyagi,
where they tie it up in the back.
Okay.
But it's cool to see headbands back.
Danielson. All right.
But yeah, Toronto.
Toronto, okay. Then let's move up. Philly, Brooklyn. Again, here's another surprise. Brooklyn comes out, wins a game, that opening game. Philly then bounces back, just trouncers them next game. So what do you think there ultimately with that?
A similar situation. I love D'Angelo Russell. Me being a Lakers fan, it breaks my heart to see him thriving with another team.
How about Magic, kicking him on the way out a little bit too?
Oh my goodness, and calling him immature when he announces that he's stepping down as president of basketball operations publicly without telling his boss. So who's the immature one? But D'Angelo Russell, I'm a big fan of his. I love watching what he's doing. Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, another former Arizona Wildcat,
also awesome.
Got some minutes as well. Jared Allen is, an up and comer, really emerging as one of the best shot blocking big men in the NBA. But between Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, Jimmy Butler, similar situation with Toronto and Orlando.
Right.
It's just a super young team in Brooklyn, but Philadelphia has a little bit more star power, and they were one of the favorites coming into the Eastern Conference now that LeBron's not here.
Right.
So.
Is Embiid hurt?
No.
You don't think so? Not seriously?
Not seriously. Not to the point where he could miss the rest of the series, but I think Philadelphia is going to be all right, even without Joel Embiid, because Ben Simmons and those guys are going to step up. So I like the Sixers in that one.
All right, and then you got Boston, Indiana, which is not very glamorous at all whatsoever. Yeah. We're just waiting to see if Boston will implode on each other and actually kill each other in the locker room at some point.
Kyrie Irving punches somebody or something bad happens.
Yeah, exactly. Marcus Smart just loses his shit, and it's over.
So Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving mixed in with that young bunch. I like the Celtics. Like you said, it's not as glamorous.
Right.
So I think the Celtics are going to cruise through Indiana, setting up a very important matchup in that second round.
Is it possible for them not to even play the series so nobody gets hurt? It's the same with this other one, Milwaukee and Detroit. You just don't want to see anybody get hurt. We don't want Giannis to get hurt doing something stupid in this Detroit series.
Sure.
And then then we lose them for the rest of the playoffs. So,
but you want to make sure you take care of business first. Right. You don't want to see anybody get hurt. But unlike
Blake Griffin, we're looking at you.
Yeah, he said Blake Griffin. Sometimes people forget that Blake Griffin plays for the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, he kind of is like one of those Marvel superheroes, just kind of vanished into the thin.
He left the Clippers, and now he's just kind of doing his own thing. And I think what happened was he got rid of Jenner.
Right.
Kendall Jenner.
Mm-hmm. That's also a good thing to do.
So you don't have that curse.
Right.
You don't have the hex
the
from the Kardashian family.
Yeah. So you're taking Milwaukee there.
Milwaukee for sure.
Okay, so let's move on then. We'll just run through this real quick on the east side. Milwaukee. So you have Milwaukee, Boston. Obviously, I think Milwaukee.
No, I got the Celtics.
Okay.
Playing good basketball right now. For all the reasons I just mentioned, Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward, Jason Tatum looked pretty good the other night in crunch time. So, yeah, give me Boston in 6 games.
6 games?
Yes.
Okay.
They're going to close it out in Boston at the Garden.
And then bottom side that, Philly, Toronto. Are you going Philly?
No.
No? Okay.
I'm gonna go. Shout out to Drake.
Okay.
One of my favorite rappers. He calls Toronto the 6.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm.
Well, we started from the bottom. Now we're here.
Yeah. So I have the 6, the North advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals.
All right. So you have Boston, Toronto. I have Milwaukee, Philadelphia in this thing. I just see Philadelphia somehow putting a string of games together, where Simmons just doesn't disappear for like a quarter or so, maybe 2, where he's locked in, kind of makes that jump that we all thought maybe he would make in his second year, in the playoffs. And I think that as long as Embiid is healthy,
yes,
and I think that, if you got Jimmy Butler just yelling at people, I think it's all good, and I think he'll at least yell them into the conference finals.
On the whiteboard, I have Toronto. I'm going to stick with that, even though now that I think about it, I really like Boston representing the Eastern Conference. But I'm still going to stick with my pick.
Okay.
Although, it's a couple games in, I'm going to be honest. So I got Toronto advancing to the NBA Finals.
Right, so we're going to put Toronto down for you. So let's move to the West.
Let's do it.
Okay, so Golden State, LA Clippers. This is hilarious. Patrick Beverley just, shouting down Kevin Durant, getting him, teed up and all this stuff, getting under his skin. He says he's not going to let it affect him.
How the Clippers are playing the Golden State Warriors is how I thought the Lakers would play the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. When Magic Johnson and Rob Pelinka formed that team, when they got JaVale McGee, Lance Stevenson, Rondo, all of these interesting characters that are known for tough guys that are known for getting under people's skin.
Right.
And I thought that this was the method that the Lakers were using, but instead, lo and behold, the Lakers are out of the playoffs. Now the Clippers are in, and Patrick Beverley, they're doing the exact same thing. They got under Kevin Durant's skin. KD and Patrick Beverley, they both get ejected.
Right.
And the Clippers overcome a 31-point deficit.
Collapse. That was like Arizona collapse, from years ago when they blew that big lead to, I think it was Illinois.
Oh, man. How to ruin an Arizona basketball fans day in 10 seconds. Just mention that Illinois game.
We were all there. It's like a group thing. We all just kind of
where were you?
Yeah, where were you?
What happened?
It's like a death in the family.
Exactly.
All right, so Houston, Utah. Utah has no chance in this series. I watched some of that last night, and that was bad times for them.
Yeah, Ricky Rubio's playing interesting defense on James Harden. What he's doing is he's preventing the step back.
Right.
So Ricky Rubio, what he does is he gets right up on James Harden. And then he'll let James Harden kind of get in front of him, and Ricky Rubio standing right behind him. That way, another defender can step up.
Right.
So James Harden has to make a quick decision, and he can't step back because if he steps back, he's going right into Ricky Rubio. But James Harden had a triple-double last night.
Yeah, even with that.
You can't stop him.
Yeah.
You can't stop him.
Fear the beard. And he went to ASU. We hate him. Then Portland, OKC. I got OKC coming out of here. They just haven't looked that great lately. They ended the season that they beat Houston. That big game. Paul George hurt.
Yeah,
shoulder. Right.
That's a big loss for Oklahoma City. But
he's still out there,
I still think he's going to play.
Yeah.
I still think he's healthy, and he looked good the other night. He had 25 or 27 points, if I'm not mistaken. But, Paul George, they're going to need him to play at a high level. And Russell Westbrook, he was 1 rebound shy of a triple-double, and he still said he had a bad game.
Right.
Russell Westbrook and Paul George need kind of carry the load moving forward.
Yeah.
And Russell Westbrook needs to step up and do a better job on Damian Lillard.
Right.
Damian Lillard showing once again that he's one of the best, most underrated guards in the NBA. And I'm with you, Dino. Although Oklahoma City is down 2-0, I think they're going to close out this series. It's going to go 7 games, but I still like Oklahoma City winning.
All right, so then Denver, San Antonio. This one's a little bit surprising. San Antonio, I think I have them coming out of this one. I think Denver's a little too young.
This was one where I sat there and said, well, this might be a flip of the coin because Denver's really young, but San Antonio has DeMar DeRozan, Pau Gasol, and the best coach in basketball right now, and Greg Popovich.
The coach that we forget won all those titles during the LeBron era. Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy. And that's why I looked at that and said, oh, man, I don't know who I want in that one.
So let's move to the semifinals and Golden State, Houston. This is pretty much we thought we wanted as our conference finals, but we're getting it in the semifinals. This is going to be a knockdown dragout, I think. I could see Houston coming out of this. I just can't bet the house. I want to do Houston.
Yeah,
but I also have my James Harden hatred. So, that's the one thing maybe holding me back from actually pulling the trigger on it. So,
sure.
Yeah.
Houston, I think will probably take the distance just because DeMarcus Cousins is out and they have Clint Capella. The Houston Rockets have Clint Capella.
They do.
That's an X factor right there.
Lots of rebounds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Houston played without Chris Paul last year in Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals, and the Rockets still took Golden State all the way down to the wire.
I totally thought. I don't like James Harden, but I don't like Golden State as a unit more, and I don't know why. I mean, I like Steve Kerr. I think Steve Kerr's great. I don't have the hatred like I think that they suck. No, that's the thing. Opposite. They're good. They're awesome. Yeah. It's just like you just pick your poison. How are they going to beat you? And it's annoying.
I want OKC to make it to the Western Conference Finals, and for the reason that you just mentioned, Russell Westbrook is upset.
Right.
And what a better way to stick it to your ex than to actually defeat them in some way, because we all know that this is Kevin Durant's last year in Golden State. Just in my opinion,
I think it's going to happen. He's going to go to New York.
That seems to be the popular opinion that he's going to leave Golden State. Wouldn't it be great for Kevin Durant to go out being upset by Russell Westbrook?
And then maybe they can meet in the finals, in years to come. That would also be awesome because it would be East versus West.
Exactly.
Yeah, because the Knicks if the Knicks scenario plays out, it might be they might be the favorite every year coming out of the East as well. So, all right. So in your finals for the NBA playoffs, you have Golden State and Toronto.
Yes.
I have Golden State and Milwaukee. That scares me just because I could see Milwaukee making it past Philadelphia on the other side in the conference finals, just because Giannis will just be awesome and it's a coming out party and it's just going to be all that. But then once they face Golden State, I'm not even sure what the regular season matchup was with those two, but I'd have to imagine Golden State won most of those.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's my final, but I have Golden State winning. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, getting the three-peat, unfortunately.
Right,
I got the Golden Boys winning once again. I do think Kawhi Leonard will show up in the NBA Finals. He has a tendency of doing that, stepping up. Fortunately for him, Finals MVP.
Right.
But fortunately for him, this time around, he doesn't have to guard LeBron James.
Right.
On the other hand, he has to guard Kevin Durant.
Right. Or Draymond or somebody.
So it doesn't get any easier for him, but I still like Golden State in this matchup, and this is going to be easy for the Warriors.
Right.
It's not going to be a 6 or 7 game series. It's going to be a 5 game series at most, and it might even be a clean sweep.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you've stuck around through this entire podcast, you are a basketball nerd. So
thank you for sticking around.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Justin, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dino.
Check them out afternoons, 3 to 6, most. If there's not a baseball game or something.
Yeah. Well, usually 3 to 6, that's a full show.
Right.
Come join us.
Yeah, absolutely. ESPN 1490 and 104.9 FM. Justin, thanks again.
Appreciate you.